5 session of our Reinvent Yourself program. So I welcome all of you to today's session. I hope you are making good use of this knowledge and practicing your meditation on your own as well. So let us get ready for our meditation. Before we start, I just want to let you know that today's session is, I think, about 10 to 15 minutes longer because the knowledge sharing portion went on for too long. So please bear with us. Just be patient. And at the end of it, we will not continue into the question answer session of the morning one. We will do our own quick question answer session here. So let's all get ready. You all know what we have to do. Just become as comfortable as possible wherever you are sitting. Try to take off all the distractions away from you and cross your legs, fingers into fingers, and keep them comfortably in your lap. Keep your spine erect and simply, slowly close your eyes very gently. I will start the replay and the meditation instructions will follow very soon.
Find a comfortable spot wherever you are. Take a deep breath in. Release a deep breath out. And feel any penetrate cell in your body that will relax. As you breathe in and breathe out. And feel your body releasing. Any thoughts whatsoever. Today, let us call upon the frequencies of Mother Earth. With every breath you take out, release all your stress, anything and everything less than love, which is no longer helping you evolve. Into Mother Earth. You are grounded upon Mother Earth. You're strong and centered. Let the energies of the earth flow through you, protecting you. Make you feel safe, like a mother's presence, like a mother's hug. Make a baby feel safe. Let go of any fear that comes to you. Just be with your natural incoming and out breath. Bring yourself back in this present moment and observe any sensation that is happening in your body while you're becoming one with the frequencies of Mother Earth. With each incoming breath and outgoing breath, we're going deeper and deeper within ourselves. Allow the energies flow in your body freely, starting from your head, going to your shoulders, your arms, down to your stomach, going through your legs, your feet, your fingertips. Making an energy circuit within yourself. Allow it. Do not be alarmed with any sensation that may happen in your body. Simply allow it. awareness back on your natural breathing and observing each sensation happening in your body. Let your body speak to you. Do not open your eyes. Just simply be with your breath, your incoming and outgoing breath. Last 2 minutes.
Nandini, you're on mute.
Nandini, yeah.
Whenever you're ready, open your palms and put it on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Welcome back. Take your time. If you want to drink some water, please go ahead and drink. We have Pari here.
Yes. Yes, Nandini. Beautiful meditation today. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, this day, the day started only with a lot of energies from last night. So today we are going to talk about grounding, earthing, and usually this topic is headed by Paridi, and she takes it beautifully. And today I've got this opportunity to speak about it, and I'm very happy to speak about it because I truly believe in the power of grounding. And I would really request, if possible, please open up your cameras and so that I can see you. And Pari, would you like to begin with your message?
Yes. Thank you, Nandini. And today's topic, grounding, is a very, very important topic for all of us at this time. For most of us, what we are going through, we may find a lot of answers today. Lot of answers for a lot of illnesses, lot of confusion is in today's session. So I'm very, very happy that Nandini is taking the session. Nandini is a great, great master and teacher. And I'm very happy to hear today's session. Thank you, Nandini.
Thank you, Paridi, for giving me this opportunity. I'll say I'm very happy to speak about it, because I cannot vouch enough about this practice of simple grounding, which we are gonna know about in this session. And thank you for that powerful message, because it's truly required for us to come back to our roots, to practice this simple technique which we are going to talk about in later session today. So let me begin with today I'm not sharing any slides. I'll be just sharing, and I would love to communicate with all of you and make this interactive. Could you imagine, like how Paridi was saying that grounding can heal your chronic illnesses? Could you imagine simply walking on ground barefoot can do that? So we'll also talk technically and scientifically what grounding does to us and why, how it heals. But to begin with, I want to speak about how to identify that you are in need of grounding. You know, whenever So whenever you're feeling like you're out of place, you're too overwhelmed, or you are in the midst of a project where you can't find your focus, or you're not able to complete, or you are questioning things more than usual, and you're finding it difficult to speak, or speak your heart, or your what you truly want to express with people, know that you are missing touch with your roots, your own roots, and you are in a need of grounding. Whenever you are hoarding things, whenever you are collecting too many materialistic things, or anything in extremes is happening, that is a sign for you that you are in a need of grounding. It is very funny that the more we are in getting advanced technologically, we are forgetting our simple natural roots, or simple natural ways of being. And that's what we are going to discuss and talk about today, that how can we reconnect with all those practices, and how can it help us tremendously. Has it ever happened to you that you have gone for a trek or camping, or say for a trip to hills or beach, and you come back and say to yourself, oh, that was awesome? How many times has happened to you? And yes, I just after this question, I'll introduce myself a bit, because I completely got into the topic without doing that. So I'll do that. So how many times have you gone to nature track or camping, and you felt like, oh god, you were missing something, and something you have found back, and you feel so like so alive? Has it ever happened to you? Because it happens with me all the time. The moment I'm out of my house, not on the roads, on in some nature gardens or something, I feel so alive. uh Austin is saying, kind of, I think being away from electronics work, life stresses help. Definitely. And I'll talk about this later today, why that happens. And Pratiksha is saying, I often find campaigning spot near water. It keeps me close to green, and water always soothes my heart. Um, Water is great source of grounding as well. Swapna is saying many times, and Shikha is saying always connect with nature easily. Wow, thank you. And I'm so glad that you already incorporate these practices in your life. So let me just begin with sharing my journey with you all, and then I'll dive deeper into this topic. So I was a very outgoing person as a kid, so outgoing that my mother and father was had to, really put me down into a room so that I don't get lost, because I used to, without any fear, I used to get out of my house and go anywhere. And when I say that, believe me, because I have experienced an experience where I simply went out of my home, and without telling my parents or without asking them, and I got lost, and somebody else, some stranger was coming came to me and said that this is my kid. And just in that second fraction of second, my father just came searching me, and if that fraction of second got delayed, I would have been in some other family, or I don't know where I would have been. So I was that fearless. I was that outgoing. I didn't care about anybody. But the more I got into the rut of life, um, even in school life, I was so bullied by my classmates. um, I'm sure they were unaware of it, but I got bullied because of my height, which is shorter than usual height. So I was always a shorter person in my class, always. Still a smaller, shorter person of my age. Nobody can guess my age. So I was always bullied for that, and my height didn't bother me that much for my when I think about it. But because of that bullied, I always used to find disconnection between people and me. So that disconnection, when I started disconnecting from everyone because I couldn't relate to them, I also began to disconnect with my own self because I thought the problem is me. And when I started believing that, I started stopped listening to myself, stopped loving myself, and all of that started. I started using their language, their words, their feelings in my. I started putting their beliefs in my beliefs, and that became one rather than my own heart and my beliefs. So I started to become what they wanted me to see, and I forgot who I truly was. But and that made me a very different person. I used to stay. I used to lock my rooms. My father and mother used to get so paranoid. What is happening with my kid? And I never used to tell them what's happening because no matter how much love they were giving to me, I thought they will never believe me or they will never understand me. So when that disconnection made me um, liking my loneliness and going into depression. And then a beautiful point came in my life when I got introduced to meditation. And I got into meditation by thinking that I'll get to meet new people because I love meeting new people. So, for the sake of experiencing something other than what I was living, I went for that meditation center session. And I still remember that was a full moon night. There was a underground meditation center where a lot of pyramids were there. And the moment I entered, I could feel, I could smell a beautiful aroma. So I'm telling in details because it is required in that details to understand. um One second. Yeah. So it is really what? So yeah, so I just I still remember that very much alive. um so I went, instructor, so the beautiful master Vasanta auntie, whose family is heading the center. She guided me to sit into meditation, and her voice was so polite, so calming, that I simply went into meditation. And I was curious to see pyramids, but I went into meditation, and I found so much peace in that practice that I thought that whatever I was looking outside, this is it. And I was a teenager back then when it happened to me. I was, I think, in 2010, I began my journey with meditation, and I was a teenager. And the moment that happened, I knew this is home. This is where I want to come back to. But again, the journey of my life continued, and I got into college. Everything was happening perfectly. I got new life because college is a new life. I got new friends again. When I got into relationships or friendships, again some experiences started happening, which was not to my what I wanted. So the moment I came to this point of introspection that whatever is happening in my life is not my own creation. It is. So I started really meditating, and I started going on walks. I started whatever my heart was telling, I started listening to that. And there was nobody to you there was a lot of people. I was a part of so many groups. I was part of PSSM, but there was nobody to guide me to do all of this. So I just with my isolation only, I started listening to my heart again, because at that point I had nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. So I just went. I used to go for a walk whenever I used to feel lonely, that nobody is there for me. I used to go to gardens and walk. And unknowingly, I was doing grounding for myself. I used to talk to plants, and I really made friends, like a kind of a relationship with plants in the park near me, my house. And I observed that they are responding to me. I observed that they are really, I could energetically, I could really connect to them, and they're responding to me. So we used to have a detailed conversation for hours, and that process completely transformed me. It really brought me closer to myself, my heart, and centered me. And with that with that conversations that I used to have, I used to get back with so much energy. And I was started to feel alive. I started to feel that that I'm back. I'm not just a dead body walking. I was so much alive. My parents were, they were spectacle where she's going and why she's coming back with such a changed persona and energy. But I didn't share it with anybody, because I didn't know what was happening. It was very natural to me, because I didn't read in anywhere. I didn't know what I was doing, but I liked doing it. So I used to just go and I used to take a selfie and just appreciate myself. And it was very new for me, because before that I used to hate uh, everything about this body. So yeah, uh, why I wanted to share this with you is that listening to your instinct, listening to your intuition is very important. Your soul, your heart knows what you require in that moment. And if I didn't listen to my heart, I would have completely uh, taken away my life. I would have taken my life, because I was in that state of mind, and emotionally I was in that state. So having said that, that was my journey. And after that, I didn't look back. I love myself so much, so that nobody can, break that bubble for me, or boundary for me. So that's what nature has done to me, and still do for me. So coming back, so we discussed that what are the few signs. These are the few signs which can make you alert or aware that you are in a need of grounding. Like for me, it was the my life was completely shattered, and I didn't wanted that life. So I had to go back to myself. So in this modern lifestyle, we are so used to wearing shoes. When was the last time you took off your shoes in and out, whenever you're not at home, you're outside, and walked barefoot, like intentionally, not when your shoes were broken? Just remember it, and if you want to write it down in the chat, you can. When was the last time you chose to not to wear shoes? it's funny that we wear slippers or shoes or some kind of thing in our feet, even in house. There are few people talks about that how important it is to wear some kind of sleepers so that gives you uh, pressure points so that you are healthy, but because they can sell that product. But do they tell you that walking on barefoot is the best acupressure or power, the points that you can get for free? You don't need those sleepers. You need to go on the ground and walk on the sand because it's for free. That's why nobody promotes it. Back in 60s, life was so natural, so simple for everybody that people used to sleep on floor, people used to eat on floor, they used to go out on walks barefoot. And there were less diseases, less illnesses. But now we are so busy and so disconnected with nature that we are getting so stressed. So our immune system is completely shattered. It's so weak that simple weather change can bring sneezes or cough or cold or fever, all of that. Simple change in a weather. And so why is that happening? Why are people so stressed? Why children, not even earlier it used to be teenager are so stressed, but nowadays young kids are stressed. Why is that happening? Because everybody is so disconnected with nature. They are on their phones, they are on their tabs 24 hours. The parents were like, okay, give them tabs so that we are free. They are so disconnected. And I also wanted to talk about I wanted to bring this point in notice that it's so I find it's unbelievable believable that people like the smell of leather. It's so stinky, and people wear leather and feel that, oh, I'm wearing leather, it's so good, it smells so good. You wear leather in your feet and you want to free from diseases. You're wearing a piece of a flesh taken away from animal skin without their consent, by killing them, and you're wearing it and you feel that you are gonna be free from disastrous thoughts or diseases. Just think about it. So yeah, so coming back now, let me talk about how is that grounding, simply walking barefoot on earth can help you scientifically. We in previous sessions also, Paridhi, talked about how we are energy beings, right? How we are made up of, we are energy. Every cell is atom, and in that atom we have energy. Okay, you your body is electric, your mind is electric, you're a conductive, your body is conductive. You feel if you rub your hand, you'll feel energy between your palms. So that's the easiest example that your body is conductive and you are energy. So everything in your body is electric. Your brain, your muscles, every cell, everything that take place in your body is an electric moving motion. So when you're in extreme, you're basically depleting your energy. And what happens when you walk barefoot on the ground is that you come in a contact with negative energy. So negative energy is what we need. Don't focus on the word negative. We need negative energy, and earth has it. Earth has electromagnetic energy that we need. So when we are, in extremes, when we are too involved in our life, when we are when we are when we are only giving the energy out, we get depleted with it. So when we come in contact with the surface of Earth, we observe the electromagnetic fields or energy of from Earth. And did you know Earth has a soul, which is called Gaia? Did you know Earth has a frequency that vibrates at? So imagine this humongous ball of energy holding a magnetic field. Okay, so when you put your feet barefoot on the ground, on the surface of Earth, you are basically plugging in yourself with the energy of Earth. So it's a electric board, and you are the charger. So your feet are the plugs. So you're plugging in and observing the all the energy, all the good stuff, all the healing stuff from the Earth. So when you do that, you also, when you consciously do that, you become one with the energy and vibration of Earth. And you can feel, and if you go to a spiritual part of it, when you become one with the frequency of Earth, you can feel that oneness with everything and anything that is present on this Earth. Because everything that is on a Earth's surface is already grounded. Animals are grounded, plants are grounded. They don't need grounding like we do, because we are disconnected. So when we are one with nature, we can be one with everything that is present on Mother Earth. And this Earth, this planet, is so beautiful. It vibrates in just one planet in the whole galaxy. So when you are one with this, so the knowledge that this beautiful planet contains, you can also come in contact with that knowledge, spiritually speaking, which I will dive later, deeper later. So speaking in very simple terms, grounding is putting your barefoot feet on the ground. When you do this, you are in contact with Earth. And because Mother Earth is endued with electrons, these electrons are literally absorbed through your feet. When grounding barefoot, it's simply like taking antioxidants, but through your feet. So yeah. So now coming to the real benefits of grounding. Some physical benefits I'll talk about. So when we do earthing or grounding, we are able to release electrical charge and free ourselves from radical that we carry around. Now, what is this radical that we carry around all day? So like I was talking about, like how yesterday we were talking about the thoughts and thinking patterns. So when we keep overthinking happening, so there's a humongous everything is energy. Your thought is also energy. So there's a huge cloud of energy. So we and so we keep carrying different radical around us, and when we ground ourselves, we can release all those fears, all those thoughts, all the chemicals that we have released in our body because of these thoughts. We can release all of that in nature. It helps you reduce stress. It helps you boost your immune system. It helps you regulate better sleep. It helps you in your blood pressure. It helps you in And now that I've mentioned blood pressure, let me, because when I came across this study, which is mentioned in this beautiful book called Earthing. Go check this out. This beautiful book. He has done a lot of research, and a lot of medical research is done in this, given in this book. If you want, you can check out the documentary also. So they talked about the they talked about the study of 12 patients with type 2 disease, diabetes. So they did grounding for 3 days for 8 hours straight. Every day they used to do grounding for 8 hours, and they did it for 3 days. So on the first day, before starting this practice, all the 12 patients, they measured their diabetes, and it was around. So it was around. 1 second, let me just. Yeah, it was around 10.6 mmol when they begin with their journey of grounding. So after 24 hours, when they again tested their diabetes, they found out that it came down to 8.8 LO. That much difference. And after 72 hours, they found that their levels dropped down to 7.4. And healthy blood pressure count is below 6. So type 2 diabetic patient can come down to say 7.4 mmol by just barefoot walking on ground. And that's an experiment, that's a live study. Not just this, many such medical studies is mentioned in this book. You can just go and check it out for yourself. But there were few. He also talked about a girl who had a severe fever, and she was a girl of Native American family. So every doctor was confused what's happening with her. Nobody has solution. Okay, so she came back, and her family put her to the ground. They dig a hole and put her to ground and lay her down, and they sat with her, put a fire around, and sat with her for hours and hours and hours. And when she was up, when she got back in consciousness, when she was up, she was all good. No fever, no high temperature, nothing, no body pains, nothing. All was good. So that's the healing power of Mother Earth. Studies also shows it helps you in improving your blood pressures. It can help you in blood clots. It can help you sleep better, like how we were talking about. It can help you in chronic pain. I'll share my experience. I was having, for 1 month, I have very severe pain in this part of my palm, and I don't take medicines. It's been 14 years that I have not taken a single tablet for anything I've experienced. So I was just curious that how can I knew that there's nothing severe, this something is happening. I used to go to ground, park of my society, and I just used to sit with my touching this area in the soil, and I did that for 1 week. My mother told all the gharelu nuska, all the home remedies that she could, because I don't take medicine. But this is the best home remedy I could find for myself. Putting my hand on the ground and digging it in the soil, and it did work. I could not even move this hand a bit. but now it's all gone. So do it in your daily practices, rather than you're having headache, you're having knee pain or muscle pain anywhere. Stop popping pills immediately you find pain in your body. Start involving the simple practice of going out in nature barefoot. There are many other practices of grounding that I'll come and talk about, but this is one, and the most simplest one. You know, you can you can also meditate in nature. That's again a, a brilliant technique or practice to incorporate. So let's come down to different types of grounding that we can do. Okay, the first that has been talked about, walking barefoot in the ground. Then we can hug trees. Hugging trees is very powerful. I'll quickly share my experience. So I was on a spiritual trek, because we were going to a very highly energetic place in hills in Uttarakhand, Mahaftar Babaji caves. So that all the trek that I was doing, I was very conscious of my steps. First, when you are conscious of your breath, all the tiredness is gone. And the moment, even if, because the track is long, if I used to feel a little tiredness, I used to just go and touch trees, hug trees, and I was back to like I have just started my journey of trekking. Just touching the trees for 5 seconds can charge you that much. So during that trek, I had many beautiful experiences, open eye experiences, where I could sense myself separate from my body. So when you are when you are aware and you are in nature, there are many different experiences that you can experience. So hugging trees is one of the great exercise that you can do. Then third exercise, touching water. If not, if you have beaches around your place, go. You're living in a best place possible. Go and swim in ocean wherever they are safe. Just sit in water. Close your eyes and just sit in water for some time. Put your hands in that flowy sand, and just simply feel. Let water talk to you. If not, no worries. Go out. You can do it using your taps also. If you don't have swimming pools, don't worry, you can use your taps also. You can just open your tap, and you're not wasting water. You are utilizing. Don't think that you're wasting water. If you are thinking that whenever you're planting your plants, you fill the water, right? So while that filling water, you can flow your hands in the water and sense and feel the energy of that water, and you can feel the light that carries in that water is filling you with light. So you can use all kind of techniques, but the basic is utilizing the elements of nature. Water is a greatest source of energy. It carries a lot of messages, a lot of energies. So yeah, go out and swimming can not just be good for your exercise, for your physical body, but it can also help you come back to your center. So whenever next time you go for swim, you connect with water, not just for the exercise sake, but for your soul also, for your emotional health also, for your spiritual health also. So next, the fourth one is listening to frequencies. Listening to, like how I was talking about that Mother Earth has frequencies. So it has, I think it is 7 point, let me just, I think Earth's frequency is 7.83 hertz is the frequency of Earth. And there are many frequencies like out there in YouTube. You can play anytime and you can connect with that frequency, or any frequency for that matter. Whales, frequency of whales, frequencies of dolphins, connect with it. You will feel grounded, you'll feel one. And uh, we'll talk about how frequency, we have talked about how frequency can really help in your emotional state and mental state, how the delta and theta, all this frequency helps you in your uh, in your states. So yes, you can journal. Writing down is also a great source of groundedness. Wherever you feel in the midst of too many things, write down your emotions, write down your thoughts, and
Looks like we got Nandini. Are you there?
I think so. It has been frozen.
Okay. All right. Never mind. So hey guys, we've had covered a lot of information today on grounding. Just to summarize what Nandini was trying to explain today to all of us is that grounding is otherwise known, in another words, grounding we can say as being in the moment, present, right now, right here. Grounded means being here, not in the past, not in the future, being where you are. That is for me the most important aspect of being grounded. And also grounding is also in a scientific way, it is also earthing means actually connected to the ground. That's what Nandini was explaining so beautifully about how, and different ways she explained how we can be connected to the ground, barefoot, hugging trees, being with water, being with nature, plants, trees, all of this part. And why is this so necessary for now? Why are we talking about all of this in a meditation class? Most of the problems, I know we have a lot of information that we can share on this. We can talk all day, but the most important thing is that when we are connected, when our electromagnetic magnetic frequencies is connected with the earth's frequencies, the healing is very much faster. That's what we talked about in the earlier classes. So grounding is basically when you have that excess energy, you know, when you like how I think I forgot the from Seattle, our friend spoke the other day, and she was like, there was so much energy, I am so I have so much energy and I don't know how to meditate. And this is a classic problem of grounding. Grounding means if you have that overflowing energy and you are like everywhere, like go, and suddenly, and I ask you like, hey, just stop everything, observe your breath, come back to your breath, and you're like, oh my goodness, Pari, what the hell are you talking about? I can do that. I am a go person. I have to get things done. How can I just sit and pull myself back? What are you asking? I just can't do this. This is the major problem for most of us right now, because we are multitaskers. We have so many things to do. So to pull back, do that, if we can do that, that means we are really working with that excess adrenaline, The stress creates all those hormones within us, cortisol and adrenaline. They are all assets. And when that excess stress hormones are there, it is hard for us to calm down. It is hard for us to press that parasympathetic nervous system to calm us down and to be with ourselves. And this is where grounding is an absolutely amazing thing for us, is to just calm our nervous system down. And I asked her to just be with the nature, have essential oils, like, smell essential oils. Like, all of this are part of nature. All of this are grounding us, to bring us into this moment, to bring us into this now, like the power of now. And if you haven't read the book, The Power of Now, now is the time to read that book, to understand why every guru out there, every spiritual leader out there talks about now, because the power lies in the now moment, not in the future, not in the past. You as a conscious creator are manifesting most powerfully in the now moment. The moment you have, then even if you are a great practitioner, energy practitioner, if you're not grounded in the now moment, there's no point to it. You've lost the whole essence. So that is why every freaking teacher out there talks about this. This is the most important thing. And now grounding is also about honoring Mother Earth. Okay, this is also an important aspect. Like, for example, I am in US, okay, and if I am sitting here and they're thinking, I hate US, I just want to go back to India because I'm from India. I want to go back to India. I miss India. I miss the food there. I can't get the food like India over here. And so many people do that. They just keep missing the place they were in and not liking where they are, but yet, I have to be here because I have to, the job, the thing, the house, I can't just leave, but I just want to go back to it. When you constantly keep saying that, you're not honoring where you are. The earth beneath you has power to it. I'm right now in California, guys. I'll talk about California. Did you know that California was originally, when the Native Americans were here in the 1800s, when there was a gold rush in the early 1900s, when there was a gold rush in California, all of the people from other countries as well came rushing to California for the gold rush. There were 300,000 Native Americans by that time in 1900s. Within 15 to 20 years, the 300,000 became 30,000 Native Americans. Extreme genocide, killings, rapes, children were taken away from the mothers. There is so much trauma happened in this land, in California. So when we come here, we see all these great things around us, the Silicon Valley or the weather or Disneyland, Legoland, all of the stuff. But the truth is, there was so much trauma underneath our feet. So we here must start honoring the earth, to start healing it. When the earth itself heals, that is when we prosper. That is when we become abundant. But first, for that to happen, you need to create a relationship with earth. Wherever you are, the whole of earth is our mother. Earth is not defined by boundaries. We need to get out of that. That, of course, we have that patriotic thing. This is my country and this is, but the whole of earth is one. We divided that. We divided her as boundaries. But when we start honoring, there is so much of diseases of every blocks start automatically dissolving, and you will start opening the path of abundance into your life when you do this. So this is a very powerful ritual, ceremony, however you want to do it, but it starts with gratitude. Again, everything is connected. Getting up and just saying gratitude and starts the healing process. So grounding has many layers to it, many layers. It is a topic that brings the very life force essence, the prana that we all talk about into our lives. And I know Nandini did a great job today. Nandini, a big clap to you for today's session. Beautifully, she was so vulnerable. She was out there, putting her life out there, telling that, hey, there is no veil. She was completely out there, raw, giving us the message that how she, with her own the trauma that she went through in her own life, how that is being healed through all of these tools. And this is we all hold shame, we all hold that guilt within us, deep within us, the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment that we had, all of that. And when all of that is not healed, there is no the evolution, the progress does not happen. So grounding is an amazing technique, and I know we are almost 10:22. To just start that healing process, to start working with yourself, and creating that connection with Mother Earth, and working so strongly in whatever profession you are, any profession, whether you are a engineer or a doctor or a student or a homemaker or anything. When we start this process, wherever you are, your homework is, wherever you are, start honoring that place. Even if you're staying in a house and you just don't like the house, you just want to move to another house, unless you accept where you are, you can never get to where you want to be. I'll repeat that again. Unless you accept where you are, you can never get to where you want to be. When you accept where you are, that doesn't mean that you don't want to go anywhere else. That doesn't mean that you're content. You can always dream, always have visions, but also accept your present existence, present reality. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you, Nandini. Such a great job. Oh my goodness. I am so super proud of you.
At her, and she looks so young, and she has already done so much, and I know a lot of things that were encouraging. And
Yes.
I really loved to hear her talking. Again, there is something coming that I find so much interesting since I started this journey. The grounding she spoke about, and the grounding you are talking about, I do also some bit of electrical, and it perfectly conforms to the one you have mentioned about electricity. And why I think this one is interesting, because it's not the first time I am coming across a phenomena where nature becomes very close to technology. It seems to me that some of these things we discover were already existent in nature without us knowing, because I also understood that if you look at the concept of a computer, how it works, like how we have the software running the programs, and if you look at how our brains work, I mean, there is a lot of, how do I call it, a relationship. If you look at the brain, how your conscious brain operates and the subconscious, and then you try to compare it with the computers, there is a lot of relationship. And then again, even the modes of communication, like nowadays, you can use telephone to call someone. When you're in Africa, you can talk to someone in UK, United States. Again, we were just saying it the other day that there is a telepathic connection sometimes that happens naturally without us even knowing the forces behind it. You are thinking about someone, and then suddenly, somehow, they were also thinking about you, and maybe, you receive a call from them. So it's becoming increasingly interesting to me when I realize that there are so many things that we used to view as just technological advancement, only to realize that there are also equivalent of them in nature. So I found this one interesting. I don't know if someone has made such an observation.
It is. We are thoroughly integrated into nature. So even technological advancements are connected with nature by themselves. So slowly science is beginning to unravel the reasons, the details or the explanations about why certain things happen. But understand that the nature is the master. We are all product of nature. So we are slowly and gradually trying to unravel the mysteries of nature, understand them, and remember all our ancestors, they were fully aware of these things. They knew and they utilized these things, right? So like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure in your culture also, there must be a lot of knowledge about worshipping the earth. Why is that concept, worshipping nature? All that, it has a meaning. They did it for a reason, not just like that. Yeah. So we need to, through our thoughts, through our mind, we need to remain connected, feel the connection with nature. As long as you can feel the connection, like Shukri has written here that they don't have opportunity to go out in the park. That is physical connection, but mentally also, if you can, like, for example, I live in Canada. I still have snow outside. We don't have much trees or anything which are like, we just have bare trees now, no leaves on the trees, nothing green, everything is brown. Now, for me to go out is very difficult because it's all minus temperatures. But what I have done, I have 60 or 70 pots inside my house where I have plants. I love plants. I like to remain connected with plants. So inside the house, I have brought nature. And I spend time with my plants. I talk to my plants. Trust me, like I have a physical example of a plant that was about to die. And I started talking to the plant like I would talk to my baby. Every day I would hold it in my hand and talk to it. What is wrong? What can I do for you? Is there a way? And I would constantly keep getting urged to speak to this plant. And trust me, this is like 5 years ago that I did this. And today that plant has got almost 30 babies. I have 30 of that plant now. In this period, it became so happy, started growing and growing, and it kept producing its own children. I don't know if you understand. I mean, like, I call them children, but like, you understand that. It starts growing and more and more, more and more, and I keep separating them into different pots, right? So inside the house, you can bring nature and remain connected. Okay. So I would recommend, I mean, try doing some things of this nature. I just, once you start connecting, you will begin to understand what I'm talking. Like, even as a smaller thing like sprouting beans. If you have sprouted beans by yourself, you will understand how good you feel when you see a little sprout come out of that seed. I feel so happy that, oh, nature is growing. It is evolving. It's creating. That moment of creation, when creation happens, is where our root is. We are all beings of creation. And that is our root energy. Our source energy is creation. And creation comes from energy of love and compassion. Once you understand this whole thing and start practicing in your life, you will begin to see big changes automatically. Meditation definitely helps us remove those barriers that we have had so far. We've been so integrated to the outside world, physical things, that we have never found the time to work on this aspect. Our core, our inner core which is actually connected to everything. So now you guys have started, please continue your meditation, and it's going to help you go expand yourself. Actually, I call it expansion. We begin to expand, may not be physically, but our awareness expands and we feel the connection. And then eventually you will find that there is nothing that's outside you. Everything is in you. It feels very strange right now, but when you experience, you understand. So I highly encourage. Thank you, David, for a beautiful message that you have given to us today. Yes, we are all connected, and we are all integral part of nature. All right. So I hope this helps you understand the physically, if you can be in nature, fantastic. But in big cities, when you are living in large cities where everything is mechanical, all man-made things, you can bring nature in the house as well. And even in the house, if you put your foot on the floor, the brick floor, the concrete floor, or whatever kind of floor you have, if you put your foot on it, you will feel the difference, right? Yeah. Good. Thank you. I'm grateful you could get what I suggested. I always share what I have experienced in my life. I have read lots of books, but I don't communicate the knowledge of the books to you all. I communicate what I have practiced from that knowledge of books in my life. So when I apply the knowledge of books in my life, I experience. And I share such of those experiences with all of you. So thank you so much. Thank you for once again being patient with our little longer session today. And we will get together again tomorrow and make a beautiful session tomorrow as well. Thank you so much. Good night to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.